This is Money Made Simple, the financial podcast that keeps it simple and gets to the point.
Kia ora and welcome back to Money Made Simple. Hey Jenny.
Hi Liv.
Happy December.
Yes, December. I'm so excited. The
Are
end
you?
of year is almost here.
Are you excited or stressed?
Both.
Okay, cool. I'm just excited. Yeah.
Well, that's because you're going away on a lovely holiday.
So when this podcast goes to air, I will be in New York enjoying a white kind of lead into Christmas.
Oh, it'll be so sparkly and beautiful.
I know, and
Yeah.
cold. Really, really cold. Yeah, what about you? What have you got coming up?
Lots of family and kids stuff, end of school year assemblies and parties and stuff. And then family Christmas at home, actually. Just pretty relaxed this year.
We've got family Christmas up in Mangawhai, so it'd be nice after New York, have the white kind of Christmas lead in and then
the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Getting it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to do something about Christmas actually, because I know definitely for me it can be a really stressful time of year, mostly racing around, too much to do, but a lot of it is financially related because everything you do at Christmas time costs money. You're going out more, you're buying lots of gifts, you've got your friends and your family, feeding lots of people. The costs can really, really mount up. So we thought it would be a great idea to have a little chat about tips and tricks for avoiding some of that stress and trying to manage your money a little bit better.
Yeah, so you can kind of avoid panic buying or not being sorted for all your Christmas presents and all of the stuff that you've got to do. I mean, also when you're more prepared, you're kind of showing your loved ones that how much you care, right? Because you've actually put thought into gifts and food and all of that. And I think just to be able to, when it comes to the break, which is, thank God, coming soon, you can actually just enjoy your well-deserved time off, having it all sorted and not having to pop to the shops on Christmas Eve or whatever. So
Yeah, actually relax. I have a feeling that, as usual, you and I will have slightly different approaches, and mine might be a bit more haphazard.
Are you all
and
sorted
yours
yet?
will be no, not at all.
okay.
I'm just living day to day at the moment, like get through the day.
Yeah, right. So this podcast can hopefully help you
Yes,
think about how to get organised.
yeah,
Awesome.
for sure.
So we're going to just discuss some top tips basically for the silly season to get your finances sorted. So let's dive into it.
Okay.
Number one, and this is a favourite of ours, and I think we mention it almost every podcast, is setting a budget.
Yes.
Yeah. So work out how much money you want or can spend. And that means for both all the presents you want to get and also your entertainment if you are an entertainer, if you're having to cater for people. I think it's a really good idea to look at all of the different people in terms of presents that you need to buy for. So write them all down and then maybe put a budget to each of them.
So do you spend the most money on the family member you like the most and then go down from there, or
That's
just
up to
divvy it
you.
up equally? Or
That is up to you in your budget.
not
But I
gonna-
think having it all on a piece of paper or spreadsheet or however you want to do it can kind of actually make it a little bit easier to manage because you know what's in store and pun intended, and kind of like what you need to do, and then you can kind of tick them off because it's always really satisfying to cross out or tick
love
off,
ticking
right?
off a list.
Yeah, piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet, or you could use one of those budgeting apps.
I don't know if you've seen one of our lovely colleagues, his Christmas spreadsheet.
I have not.
It's very impressive. And it's a shared spreadsheet with family so that they all can contribute and say what they've done and what they've bought and who they're buying for. And it was next level.
Oh, okay, well maybe we could share a link to something like
To
that in the show
his
notes.
Christmas spread.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
I'll ask.
Yeah, and I think as you then buy presents or food or anything like that, really kind of ticking it off your list, like, you know, I've done my present for little Timmy or, you know, little Jack, and then update how much you've spent versus how much you have left in your budget, and you'll feel really kind of in control and on top of, you know, what
I have an
do.
argument with my husband every year because he loves a Christmas ham. Sorry, you're a veggie. But we argue about the size because you can spend hundreds of dollars on a ham and it's many, many kilos. So I'm gonna put a ham budget in place. So this is as much as you can spend.
Yeah, so food, presents, I think even stuff like transport, decorations, if you want or need to buy a Christmas tree, all of those kind of things can go into your budget and then kind of ladder up to your total, and then you kind of know what you're in for.
Yeah, because people also
budget.
go away, right, at that time of year. So you might also be paying accommodation costs or for the batch or whatever. There's a lot of things to factor into that budget.
Yeah, but just basically thinking about it all, having it somewhere that you can manage.
And then you're going to feel more in control straight away rather than a headless chicken running in lots of directions.
Exactly. Cool.
Hopefully.
Number 2?
Number 2 is is maybe trying to control some of that spending, not buying for every single member of your family. So I know that in some families you have to buy for, you know, all your brothers and sisters, your cousins, their kids, your grandparents. That can get really, really expensive. But also you tend to then buy quite token gifts for everybody.
Exactly.
Because you haven't got a lot of money to spend, so you have
Buy plastic and things that don't matter. Yes.
So one way that the way we do it in our family is that whoever's spending Christmas together, every adult just buys one other adult a present, and then you can put a lot of thought into it. You can spend more and get something good.
So is that for a particular person or you get a generic gift?
No, particular person.
Okay, so that's the way that we tend to do it as well. So Secret Santa basically, right? And so you draw names out of a hat or off an app, and you then also, you basically appoint an organiser that sets the budget. So say that could be $50 or $100, could even be like $200 kind of thing. And then you can kind of get them something that they actually want. And the apps online let you create each member, create wish lists, which is quite cool. So you can actually tell people what you want.
We just do passive aggressive hints to each other.
Okay. Yeah. So we do.
I saw this in the window the other day. It looks so nice.
We use an app called Draw Names, I think it is, and it's a free little website. My sister organises it. I don't.
Cool. I'm going to look into that because our Christmases have sometimes there's only been say 10 of us, but a couple of Christmases ago there was 33 of us.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of people to manage.
But still, everyone was only buying for one other adult. So.
Yeah, so it makes sense. The other option, which can be a little bit more fun, is often called Dirty Santa or White Elephant. And that is where you all buy one gift again, but it turns into a game on the day and you buy more of a generic gift and then you put all the gifts in the middle and then you go around in a circle, like numbered 1 to, say there's 10 of you, 1 to 10. First person grabs whatever gift they want from the middle, and then the next person can either take another gift from the middle or steal the first person's gift. And then it kind of goes on. And I think you can make rules like a gift can only be stolen 3 times before it reaches its final. No one else allowed to steal. Yeah. Kind of can bring a little bit of fun into it if you want to create a game. It can get a bit fraught, I think, from past experience. We've tried it in past years and then gone with the Secret Santa. There's some competitive people in my family. So
we do it too it's with the kids and adults, and it's quite hard to find generic gifts. So I know like the lotto or the scratchies are always really popular. Everyone always wants those. And then once my little 7-year-old nephew got left with a cheese board and a knife, and I still remember his heartbreak. Yeah, there's a lot of trading that goes on after the game is finished.
I remember the most popular one that I ever had. We did it with our friends' Christmases. There was the really unpopular ones, like someone brought a windscreen wiper, and then there was I know, isn't that mean?
An actual windscreen wiper.
Yeah.
Why?
Because people are dicks, basically. And then there was the most popular one I've ever seen, a meat pack. Yeah. So someone worked for I think beef and lamb or something like that, and
it would be quite warm by the end of that game, I imagine.
It was in one of those polystyrene things. Okay. But anyway, you can get some great fun in there.
Yeah.
So
if you can, and your family has to agree, if you can look to minimise kind of the amount of gifts that you have to buy and put more effort into a couple that you do, you're going to save yourself money and a lot of stress.
Exactly.
And hopefully get something decent.
And make it fun. Exactly. Another one that I think is kind of underrated is making your own gifts or wrapping paper or cards.
Yep.
So, like with the eco kind of conscious world out there, doing butcher paper and twine looks quite cool.
Yeah, and a little sprig of something from the garden,
rosemary or something. Yeah, exactly.
It's really nice.
Yeah,
I was really broke as a student living overseas, and I didn't have any money for Christmas presents. But we went to my family's for Christmas, and I made everything. And I made like a pom-pom garland out of secondhand wool that I bought from a charity shop, which they absolutely loved and still use. And for the host, I made gingerbread versions of the whole family. So everyone had a gingerbread man.
This is why you're so stressed, because you do these things.
No, but they absolutely loved it.
Yes.
It was like way better than any present I could have bought.
But also kind of, I guess, more DIY homemade gifts. So you could do like a self-care bundle where you do I don't know, soap and socks and
face mask and
all that kind of thing. Like you could put together a bundle that's not expensive, but it kind of is quite thoughtful. Candles is another one that you can try making. So it's a lot cheaper.
You made candles before?
A long time ago, yes. And it's a lot cheaper to make them than the markups. Also another one, a recipe jar, which they're quite popular at stores like Flo and Frankie and other gift stores. And you kind of layer the dry ingredients into a jar. Put a little card, a cute little homemade card on it, and then they just add the wet ingredients.
I did that once with it, and I tied a little cookie cutter star shape on it.
You just go over and above, eh?
Which only cost a couple of dollars.
I'm so looking forward to my Christmas present from you. Another one that's just a note for later.
Yeah, cool.
Yep, cool. Another one could be like a subscription of some sort for a month or a few months to something that the person that you're buying for would value. Like that could be an audio streaming or
Dish magazine.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone out there listening?
Yeah, Spotify Premium or something like that. That's just more an experience for them.
That's cool.
Yeah. Also on that note, speaking of that, I think experiences often can be a little bit more special and kind of long lasting in terms of the memories than another toy or another bit of plastic. So that's another thing that you can maybe consider as buying people experiences, like doing something together.
Yeah, there's lots of things that you can do, especially with kids. One of my nephews, we once bought him a cooking class, and it was like a little drive out of Auckland, and my son did it too, and they had a really, really good time. They cooked like this 3-course meal and really enjoyed themselves. So there's lots of things.
Yeah. There'd be loads of classes, like you could do a pottery class or a painting class or the paint and sip type thing. Like just spending time with loved ones, I think, after the year I've had in terms of with my dad passing away earlier, I think time with loved ones is like really coming to the fore.
More valuable than anything else.
100%, way more valuable than anything that.
And I think that's right. If you can buy the experience and you do it with them, then that's even more special.
Yeah, going out to dinner or doing a class or going for some kind of experience is cool. Clau and I often say no presents and we'll just travel together. So next year we've got quite a lot of travel booked. We're going to Japan in end of January to snowboard, and that's our Christmas present to each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
Spending time.
You're minimalists, eh? So
exactly.
The other thing, because I'm always running late or in a flap of some kind, with experiences particularly, is making a voucher. So, and you can do that 5 minutes before
you should
go.
Maybe spend a little bit longer.
If you can, a promise to do something together, or like I'm going to take you out for dinner, I'm going to do, let's go to the movies or whatever. So it's a great little last minute.
And on that note, handmade cards. I mean, and if you've got kids or friends' kids, that could be like one of their jobs to do for you to make a whole lot of cards. Get them working for their pocket money or something. So you don't even have to do it yourself.
It used to be a real thing, Christmas cards, eh? I don't think it's quite the thing it was, but it's still nice. Yeah. Even just gift cards on presents and things.
Yeah,
but handmade. It's really nice.
Cool. And then in terms of if you are buying things, maybe be a little bit strategic about your timing for when you're buying your gifts. So we've just had Black Friday, so a little bit too late for that this year. I suspect, and I could be wrong, that December is probably the least salesy time that you can ever get for the shops, because the shops are just taking advantage of everyone needing to buy gifts, so they're not going to be on sale.
Given Black Friday has become this
huge
it's an extended sales period too, right? Like a couple of weeks. Yeah, then after that you're at the mercy.
So there's some times of the year that there are going to be really good sales. Boxing Day is one of them. Easter is usually one of them. Some kind of June, July, winter sale.
It's usually Labor Day around October. There's something. Yeah.
And then
all the holidays.
Yeah, and then Black Friday. So, I mean, you could start your Christmas list for next year already, and then during the year you can then take advantage of the sales, even if it's just a few people that you need to buy for, and buy them.
Or those fun Secret Santa or the generic, what do you call it, Dirty Santa?
Yes. White elephant or dirty Santa.
Those kind of presents, if you see them, you can be opportunistic and pick them up in sales, and then you're super organised.
Exactly. So
around.
Yeah, and then that also kind of helps in terms of this whole having this massive budget for November, December. You're actually spreading it out over the year and not having that dent in the budget at that time.
Yeah.
So
for the super organised, that'll never be me, but it's a great idea.
Another option, if you want to take advantage of the Boxing Day sales come up, is maybe shift your family or your friends or whatever kind of Christmas gift giving time a little bit later and then say, look, we're going to do it on the 28th or something, and then you know that you have the box.
Go and do mad Boxing Day shopping.
There's some pretty good sales on Boxing Day.
This year we're having two, one on the 25th and one on the 30th.
There you go. So you might be Boxing Day shopping.
It might be.
Yeah.
Don't tell my brother and his family though.
No. Well, hopefully they don't listen to this.
Of course they do.
Okay, cool. Any others that we can do quick fire, maybe don't put too much thought into?
I guess around that, so I love hosting, and we've hosted Christmas loads and loads of times because I love cooking, but food can get so expensive. Like, for example, that Christmas where we had 30 people, multiple meals over several days and things. If you can get people to contribute to that, so potluck. My sister is the dessert queen, so she always makes a trifle for Christmas. Just have everybody bring a little something, and that's going to definitely help out. Drinks as well.
Okay.
So we have Christmas cocktails over the few days, and everyone brings a bottle of something to contribute to the Christmas drinks.
Oh yeah, there's a bit of organisation in that.
Yeah.
So again, being pre-prepared is key here.
Yeah.
Sharing gifts with friends. So going in, if you want to get someone something really nice and it's a bit out of your budget, you could go in with a couple of you to buy that gift.
Yes.
So, if there's three of you, you can get something worth, say $150 versus if you were spending $50 yourself.
I always think that would be quite a good thing to do for teachers too, actually, because otherwise they end up getting loads and loads of wine and chocolates, but you could get a group together and buy them something else.
Exactly. Another one, and this is one that works in terms of simplicity, and we've talked about it a few times in Christmases past, is gifting KiwiSaver investment funds for young ones.
Yes.
Setting up their account, or if they've got an account set up already, then gifting into their KiwiSaver investment funds fund.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one because it's sort of not immediate, but you can spin that as to, if you're giving it to a child especially, what that's going to mean to them in 5, 10, 15
sometimes
years.
a bit hard with our kind of now mentality. Kids might struggle to see the value of it.
Yeah, that's like those other gift cards for charities where you can buy a donkey or a goat or something as well. Those are really great things to do.
Yeah. Paying cash, so not using your credit card if you're not very good with credit cards, as we've talked about in the past.
So get all your cash out for your Christmas shopping and then just spend that?
Or being a little bit more modern, putting it all in one account, so just not then being tempted to overspend.
Yeah. It is the time of year for overspending, for sure.
It is. And one more I was thinking of, sorry, I feel like I've got all the ideas today, is going op shopping. This is both an eco and a budget tip, is thinking about whether you can buy all of your gifts secondhand or from op shops.
We actually did that one year for the Secret Santa thing. It had to be made or secondhand, and the gifts were awesome. They were, and one of the little kids, one of the children made a board game. They handmade a board game with all the pieces and stuff. It really brought out a lot of creativity in people.
Cool. Any others?
No, you're the one with the ideas
Tips
today.
Queen. Yeah, cool. All right, well, we'll wrap up there.
Okay.
And so, hopefully someone got something out of this, even if it's just starting to think about being a little bit more prepared, because it's only a couple of weeks till Christmas, right? So
yeah. But it's still there is still time to get organised, and so that you can relax when Christmas comes around.
Exactly, and just reflecting on how much you have, how much you want to spend, and then being able to know what you've got to do. Yeah. Take that little bit of stress out of the silly season.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, I think we've got one more left before we break up for a little while. So tune in for that one. We'll be inviting Shamabeel next time onto the podcast to talk about yucky inflation, but we will catch you next time.
Okay, see you everyone.
Bye. This podcast contains personal opinions and is intended to provide educational information only. It doesn't relate to your particular financial situation or goals and is not financial advice or recommendations. Simplicity New Zealand Limited is the issuer of the Simplicity KiwiSaver scheme and investment funds. For product disclosure statements, please visit Simplicity's website, simplicity.kiwi.